dream I know, deep up my feelings for you. Watch.
Hello reality viewers, welcome back again to Reality Latest Gist, the home of news and politics. For this channel, we dey drop news every day and we dey react to every videos wey comes our way. And na reality news now we dey drop for this channel, and we dey also dey talk am as e be. If today na the first time we say you dey come across this channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are returning subscribers, I appreciate all of una for una massive support to this channel. I say may God bless all of una in Jesus name, amen. I get video wey I want present to una this very moment, and I go dey follow una dey watch the video. After we don watch am together, make we drop our opinion constructively for the comment section. Like our videos and also share our videos if possible. Bye for now.
Amazing. Let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing comments made by a former governor of Bauchi State, Sèérious, who during a live television interview stated that fuel subsidy has mostly been a scam run by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company in conjunction with marketers and other stakeholders in the oil sector. Uganda, who was also a former minister of state for transport, further stated that he was privileged to serve as the chairman of a subcommittee between 2008 and 2009 during the economic meltdown period, and he chaired the committee on subsidy where everything about the scam was discovered. While Bayo Ononuga, the director of media for the Tinubu campaign, posted a snippet of the interview on Twitter, stating that anyone shouting for the retention of subsidy is connected with the scammers. Well, let's take a look.
I was privileged to serve as the chairman of the subcommittee 2008 and 2009 under the economic meltdown. I was one of the members, three of us governors and some other members with Mr. President as chairman. So I chaired the committee on subsidy, and everything about the subsidy regime and then the scam in the subsidy regime was discovered by my committee. And of course, since then, recommendations were made, which unfortunately were never implemented, and it's very sad. I'm sad to let Nigerians know that from what I saw, we came across situations where subsidy was claimed on pipelines that never existed. You just claim that I would have pumped X amount of, either finished products or crude, maybe from Kaduna, from Warri to Kaduna.
Who, by NNPC? Making this claim?
Of course, who else is doing it?
Oh dear.
Those that pump and those that are in the subsidy scam, they just fill papers, invoices, and they claim subsidy on it. In fact, there was an instance of a pipeline that was supposed to exist between Lagos and Warri. And tons of monies were collected on subsidy on a pipeline that never existed. This is Nigeria for you.
Well, all right. I mean, I got that snippet from Bayo Ononuga, who is also very vocal on Twitter. I mean, can I call him a Twitter analyst like Dr. Abatis always Twitter analyst. I mean, what can I say? But yes, it was good that he posted that. And, I thought it was... No. I mean, people post their opinions on Twitter, and it is important for us to share. And I think that what he said is actually right. If this is actually true, what Bayo Ononuga said is if, people that are screaming about the subsidy retention are part of the scheme. But I believe that this is a huge story that should be investigated. What caught my attention, I mean, he made those comments on Channels Television. What caught my attention was the fact that he said that there was an oil marketer that is his friend, who is part of the team, who's also a part of the economic team, that met a previous president and told him that, listen, we are tired of making money. This whole thing is a huge scam. I mean, what is this? This is all a cahoot or something? But before I come to you, Ayo, in the meantime, Garba Shehu A former spokesperson for ex-President Muhammadu Buhari in a Twitter post on Monday stated that Buhari did not remove petrol subsidy before he left office to prevent any form of insurrection that could have made the All Progressives Congress lose the 2023 election. The former presidential spokesperson further admitted that although Buhari did not remove petrol subsidy during his 8-year tenure in office, all other subsidies which were in place before he was elected in 2015, including the annual fertilizer subsidy that cost 60 to 100 billion naira each year, the pilgrim diesel and electricity subsidies were all eliminated by May 2023. I mean, this is all self-indicting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've highlighted that, but let me go back to Mr. Sèŕìouśly's statement. And it just goes to show again and again that only a few people in Nigeria are siphoning our financial resources at the detriment of the masses. You know, the people who, he's not the first person, or he's not stating anything that's new to people in terms of the fact that subsidies is a scam. So what he's mentioned is that the NNPC, colluding with some oil marketers, just have phantom sale of oil and claim subsidy and bleed the nation whilst the poor masses are suffering. And that's why a number of times people used to say that subsidy was for the rich. It was just for the rich. There were a few people who were benefiting massively from it, and that had to be cut to stop the siphoning of resources from the government. But beyond that I'd like to also mention that this scam was done under the previous administration as well, which was an APC government.
Yes.
Why wasn't this investigation done at the time? Why did it take, and it leads to the next story with Malam Garba Shehu saying that the president, due to political reasons, rather would allow this scam to continue to benefit his party so that they wouldn't jeopardize their chances at the polls. It goes to show where really the heart of our politicians are and the will or political will comes from. Mm-hmm. As long as it's of interest, it would continue. When it no longer becomes an interest, so where do the people come into? Where do the people come into the play? At what point would we have leaders who are thinking of the people as opposed to their personal interest and political advancement? Mm-hmm. It is sad, and I hope, as has been said, it is investigated, at least hopefully under this administration, the president will have the courage to do so.
Yes, and you know, Rufai, one of the anchors asked the question there. If you're saying that, the president knew about this whole subsidy scam, why didn't he remove it? And Ugunda alluded to the fact that the president may have been scared for his life. Rufai.
Yes, I mean, see, Oji, there's nothing you would have said that a lot of people do not know in this country. And that's why I said before President Tinubu removes subsidy, at first you prepare the ground through palliatives, and two, you have a forensic audit of the NNPC and what went on. Like I was a soothsayer, I know they will never do that because of the level of scam that goes on. And Oji, it is not today people have been living at the expense of Nigeria. It goes back to when Nigeria got independence, where top government functionaries were fleecing this country dry. In fact, Oji, it's a miracle this country is still alive, it's still succeeding. And God will thank you for Nigeria. Because the way people have eaten this country dry, the cankerworms and palmer worms, all sorts of corruption. And guess what they do? They make humongous wealth. They just fritter some of the wealth to their foot soldiers that you see on social media defending the madness going on. And they also fritter some to the media, people that would talk and speak for them, while they keep making money. Imagine somebody saying that, I'm tired of making money.
Yes.
And that's what it is. We all know it's a scam. The first regime was a scam. You remember the first regime when they said marketers should bring it in? Marketers were bringing empty barrels in and they were collecting money. But let me tell you something. The next phase of the scam will start soon, when you have to get a lot of people to still bring in products in themselves, and the NNPC is not bringing products in, and they fix the price. That's going to be the next phase of the scam. You know, because why? These people that are at the top, they never care for the lower rung in society. And there is no government to defend them. You know why? Because government becomes for the rich, and the rich are their cronies. I dare them to have a forensic audit of the NNPC.
Absolutely.
I dare them to have a forensic audit that goes way back to 77, since the NNPC started.
Yes.
They will not. Absolutely. You know why? Because we know what has gone under the carpet. But you see, in all of this, I keep telling Nigerian people elections matter. You can see all of this yourself and be hoodwinked by the people they pay to come and lie to you on social media.
Surely.
And you can see all of this and take action. Your destiny in your hand. The best I can do is to tell you and open your eyes to it. Like you take your future in your hands.
Absolutely.
These people will continue to do you over. And guess what, Oji? They are already recruiting their children. These same children of the oppressors will rule over you if care is not taken.
I mean, surely this needs to be investigated. Even his friend, Ugunda's friend. I mean, they need to find out who. All these people need to be arrested.
Oji, nothing will be done after this interview.
What has been confirmed? What has been confirmed by, former Governor Sèŕìous statement is that, look, we live in a country, whether it's for subsidy or other forms of subsidy, where we're surrounded by scam. What has been confirmed is the fact that there is a class, a parasitic class in this society, a rent collection class. People who do nothing, who just collect rent from the Nigerian state.
Unacceptable.
Whether it's in the oil and gas sector, or it's in the maritime sector, or in any other sector in Nigeria. Rent collectors. And that is why his friend that he talked about can say, look, we are making too much money because they don't do anything.
Yes.
And I do parasitic class. Sèérious, as he pointed out, was chair of a committee to investigate the subsidy scam in 2009. In 2009. In 2011, the House of Representatives set up a committee to investigate this fuel subsidy scam and came up with the same conclusion as the Sèérious panel of 2009. In 2012, the Jonathan administration set up the Imokwede panel on subsidy verification. And that panel indicted 21 companies and raised an alarm that people were collecting per annum. Money is running into about 327 billion naira. People who have no fuel station, claiming that they have fuel station. People who do not import any fuel, claiming that they are importing fuel. The good news is that under the present administration, the Tinubu administration, the fuel subsidy has been removed. So nobody is going to collect any free money again from that direction. 2, the Petroleum Equalization Fund is also going to disappear. So that's another center of scam in all of this. But a bigger point made by former Minister of Aviation, former Governor Sèérious, is that there's no time limit on investigation of the persons who have been identified and indicted. But I hope that President Tinubu will summon the courage to initiate further investigation and trial, because if all the people who collected rent from Nigeria, from phantom fuel subsidy, if they are made to return the money, that could be a lot. That money could be used to develop some of our institutions, particularly schools. Because the whole idea of people collecting rent, there are people who are collecting rent at the ports.
Unacceptable.
There are people who have private accounts into which they put government money.
Yes.
So, this is part of the challenge as President Tinubu tries to tackle corruption, which is one of the things he has been advised to do. So, Sèérious' recommendation is in order, clearly, because we have too many rent collectors in this country. You wake up very early, we wake up every morning to put in a day's work. Some people just lounge around, they just collect rent.